Hello and welcome to Design Chat, the best live design discussion on the internet. I'm your host, Ryan McGovern. On Twitter, I'm at Hoopajube and at Design Chat. Every week, we bring together some of the coolest people from the design community to you guys so you can ask questions and interact and just hang out, and it's cool and it's fun, and we drink. Sometimes we get a little tipsy. They were just showing us their beers. Flash them up there again really quick because this part's going on the podcast, guys. I think I saw a PBR. What else is there?
Vortex.
Heineken. Hello to Heineken. Tonight, our guests who are showing us these beers, it'd be nice if I introduced them. These are some of the people, some of the gentlemen from Threadless. If you're not familiar with them, look them up at threadless.com on Twitter. They're at Threadless. Golf clap to you guys. Thanks for coming on tonight. Woo! Yeah! We have a live studio audience, by the way. Just so you guys know. We got claps in the chat room. Good to see that. So the individuals going around, introduce yourselves one at a time. Mig, let's start with you on the right.
Sure. My name is Mig Reyes, and I am one of the interactive designers here. And on Twitter, I am at Spigamus.
Mig, can I stop you really quick? I want to have you guys turn up your volume sensitivity. Underneath your screen should be a bar. Looks like it's all the way up. You know what? We're going to pause really quick. Go on to the system preferences and go into the sound input and then turn up the microphone sensitivity just a little bit. In the meantime, a couple quick notes, guys. A thank you to, of course, Symbolic. We broadcast from Symbolic every single week. Amazing agency. Check them out on Twitter. They are at Symbolic, and that's SMBOLIC. And that's our website too, smbolic.com. Keep talking a little bit.
Output volume.
A, B, C, D.
Sound a little better. Just make sure you guys talk really loud.
Low.
We can talk really loud.
Cool. So Meg, you said you're an interactive designer?
Yes. Glenn and I happen to design the website and emails and advertisements. And we work with Brock and Speedy, who will introduce themselves, and making Threadless look like what it looks like.
Cool.
Right on.
Next.
I'm Brock Rumer. I'm User Experience Director.
I'm Joe Van Wettering. I do some design and some production.
And like Mick said, I'm Glenn Cochin, and I'm one of the interactive designers.
Cool. And so just a brief summary for people who, for whatever reason, are not familiar with the wonderful goodness that is Threadless. What the hell is Threadless?
Threadless is a community-based t-shirt company where we print and you, the designers in the audience, will design shirts, and then you guys in the audience will also pick the shirts that we print, and we pay the winning designers handsomely. I think we pay them like $2,200 cash and then $500 in Threadless credit. So we're all about community and community-based design.
Awesome. There's a lot of great discussion going on right now about design community and using the power of community and how that happens, and the C word, crowdsourcing. Something happened this week. I'm very excited to bring it up because it was such a hot topic. The Gap logo. Yes, the Gap logo. I think we have to talk about it because not just as shockingly bad design and bad decisions, but also what the design community did to react to it. So why don't you guys tell us your opinions on kind of, how you saw it went down and what it really means to the larger design community.
So I think we got new coat. I mean, we didn't see it rolled out to the stores. We didn't see it other places. I think it was all, I won't say a hoax. I'll say an elaborate way to generate social, interactions.
The way I see it was, so what happened was Gap released a new logo. Everyone was like, oh, wow, that's horrible. And then Gap responded by saying, oh, just kidding. We also want to see what the crowd wants to design, and we'll crowdsource the Gap logo. But then everyone was like, wow, that's an idea. And then so Gap said, just kidding, we're going to go back to our old logo. So with all this response, instead of Gap doing a new logo that was more toward what they wanted to say. They instead just went back to the old logo, thinking that that's the right move.
I think you know, from what we know at Threadless, a logo, especially like an iconic like Gap, is really hard to crowdsource.
I think they want us to speak louder.
All right, speak louder. Because you know, we do challenges. We have, you know, the open challenge where people can put in a T-shirt, or we have some topical challenges, and they're big enough to allow a lot of different expression. A logo is going to be really hard to make out of context in a crowdsourced kind of way, I think.
It basically becomes spec work. If you design this Gap logo and someone else gets chosen, what do you do with it when you're done? There's nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Debbie Millman put out into her Facebook feed and on her Twitter feed that the AIGA, and Debbie Millman is the president of AIGA National, they composed a letter with their thoughts on how Gap handled it and the idea of crowdsourcing and why crowdsourcing is bad. And they composed this letter and sent it to the president of Gap. Gap responded. I don't think they've disclosed what that response is or even the letter that AIGA wrote to them, but it was a very positive and well thought out response according to Debbie. And I think the AIGA is going to sort of see this as a, you know, like a win for the design community against the idea of spec work, against the idea of companies who want to tap into the larger design community and get free work done without having to pay anyone, except for maybe just the one person that they might use. But you know, the idea that some of these corporations are abusing hungry designers in a way. And what's really interesting and why I'm really grateful that the timing just worked out that we're talking to you guys tonight is that you know, it's a sensitive topic to the design community, and you know, it's hard to think of any other company outside of Threadless that is tapping into the greater resource in a fair and sort of productive way. I just really want to get all of your thoughts on that tonight.
Yeah, sure. So what's interesting is that a lot of people like to associate us with crowdsourcing, and crowdsourcing can often have like a negative connotation, but I think the way we handle it, or the way we see it at Threadless, is that we see it more sort of friend sourcing. So a lot of what we do is based on, and even the language that you see we use on our site, it's all about our friends, and we want our friends to contribute, and we want to tap into the talent pool that we know of. And I think the difference too with crowdsourcing, let's say CrowdSpring, right? So they'll have a company X, and they have a problem. They need a logo done. And then designers at large will submit designs, only one will win, and only one will get like $400. At Threadless, it's an open call. So we don't have any problems to solve. We're just saying, hey, if you've got cool art or want to make cool, put it on a t-shirt and put it in front of the community, and the community will check it out, look at it, and the community will bring it up to the top and print it, and we'll, you know, vote on it from there. So I think that's the big difference, is that crowdsourcing versus what we do at Threadless too.
Yeah, and I think one of the key things is crowdsourcing as a term coined in 2006, and we've been around since 2000, so that doesn't mean it wasn't exactly happening, but I think that a lot of those ideas, we predate them in a lot of ways. The other thing is about Threadless is that we're really a community about creativity, so there's a lot of interaction between the artists, about the art, about some things that are related in their lives, sometimes even some things that are a little farther afield. But like in a thing like CrowdSpring, it's like, hey, do us a logo that has this word in it and put it up here by Friday.
Yeah, well, what's nice about Threadless is that you get a lot of community engagement. So whenever you upload a design and you share it, other people get to look at it, comment on it, give you really great feedback that you wouldn't get just by submitting a design hoping you'll win. So it's not so much about winning a contest as much as it is about sharing your artwork and kind of growing your work and your skill set off of sharing it with everyone else.
A lot of this stuff makes really like great portfolio pieces, and you start learning off other people, and you just kind of build this portfolio of just random, they're essentially t-shirts, but a lot of this stuff you could use for whatever. They could work as prints and all kinds of other stuff, and you have this just body of work all of a sudden.
And we can't emphasize enough that the community has a huge role in deciding what gets printed. It's like, if you like something on Threadless, you can help make it happen, that you can actually have that shirt. It's not just the man upstairs who makes all the decisions, but it's the community.
So one last point on that. At the AIGA Memphis conference last year, Liz Dansko moderated a panel called The Power of Community, and Jim Kudal was on it, Derek Pauzek was on it, and when it came to Q&A time, somebody raised their hand and said, so do you guys think Threadless is the industry? And I was really stoked that somebody asked that question, and all of the people on the panel said, they looked at each other and they said, no, we don't think Threadless and places like Threadless are the community, because illustrators are found and born on Threadless. If you look at Flickr, there are photographers discovered on Flickr because they're sharing their work in an open community. So that's, I mean, really the way we feel about it. It's just sharing in community.
We've had lots of careers launched. Students going into professional design and illustration and other artistic endeavors. We've had people come into the company, Threadless. We've had people go on to other endeavors, other t-shirt companies or other creative kinds of things. So clearly it's doing more than just asking a small problem.
I think one of the best examples of that where Threadless built somebody's career is Ollie Moss.
Yep.
Ollie Moss got his start on Threadless designing some of our most famous t-shirts that we sell, and now he's blown up.
He first got printed when he was 16.
Yeah.
So he's been around a while.
Wow. That's amazing. You know, and that speaks the longevity just there.
Ryan, where are you?
Huh.
Lost him.
I think another interesting thing
Hold on.
about
I don't think we're live. Ryan got cut.
I know, but they can still see it.
Wait, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He's coming back.
So we're gonna just run the show now.
Dude, this guy.
So we could see the chat room. What do you guys want to know from us and from Threadless? We could, like we said a lot, we were going to talk about puppies. Bruce, the dog, is in the house.
Bruce!
Beer.
Come here, buddy.
We're definitely drinking the beer. But anyone know Cam Balzer? Yeah, we do. We have to work with that guy, so.
We like him or don't like him. Either way.
No, Cam is great.
Yes.
What do you want to know about him? I can't disclose any information about him, so never mind. Are any of you guys single?
Quite strong now.
This half.
Oh yeah, this hat.
Yeah.
It depends on who's asking, I guess.
Hey.
Catherine didn't like
Sorry about that, guys. No idea
no
what
apologies.
happened.
Hey everybody,
Somebody
welcome
kicked
to
the
Design
cord.
Chat. This is the premier live design show. I am your host, Ryan. Oh, wrong cue card, sorry about that.
That's something we should bring up. Mig just did something very natural because he is used to being on camera. Mig, I've given you props a number of times on this show because of what you do with your own not live, but video design, community interaction. Tell everybody about what you do, please.
Oh, sure. So I like to do internet dating through video. Oh, sorry. Humble Pie, right. Yeah, so Humble Pie is this, it's turned into like this passion project that I had. I was supposed to speak at a conference and inspire all these design students, and I thought to myself, who am I to do that? So why don't I just ask all my friends and all my old bosses to share a piece of advice, and I'll share that instead. But it kind of caught on, and it kind of got rolling. And a lot of that was influenced by what I've been learning at Threadless, where we rely on our friends for help, and we rely on our friends for content, and because you trust your friend more than you trust somebody who's talking about themselves. So yeah, so Humble Pie is this video interview series where I interview, for lack of better terms, famous designers and whatnot. And I put it out there and ask them to share one piece of advice. So Ryan, my question to you is this. If you had one piece of advice that you would share with all of the Design Chat viewers, what would that one piece of advice be?
I'm not
Putting you on the
prepared.
spot.
I'm not prepared to answer this question. Drink drink beer. It helps digestion.
I think that's a good answer.
Cheers.
No, man. For me, you know, and we've talked about this before. My motivations for doing this, you know, very much are around the idea of what you guys talk about a lot. It's just sharing. Put yourself out there, share, give a lot, give often, and you're going to get in return. And so my advice to the DesignChat community is get involved and give. Share things that you know. Don't be afraid to get on video and talk to people. Don't be afraid to ask video questions. And the only thing that's going to happen from that is good, right? It's going to benefit the design community as a whole. And it's going to improve your life in one way or another, whether it's personally or professionally. Putting yourself out there is scary sometimes. You know, you take that first step and everything changes. So my advice to everybody is get involved, put yourself out there, get on video, be part of the community, and talk. Just talk.
No, but you actually do bring up a really good point. At Threadless, and a lot of people ask us, you know, what do you guys think of all your competitors? There's X companies selling shirts and X companies selling other shirts. And I think what all of these companies don't do is put out content as much as we do. Every sale we have, it's custom designed. We have videos, we have little webisodes that we produce, and we do a Threadless 365 project where we share something every day. It doesn't matter what, but we're sharing, like you said. So this whole like publishing and putting stuff out there and putting content out there every day is hard. But I think that's what differentiates us. We care about the stuff that we're doing, and we'll share any and all of it.
And to be honest, we don't.
It's
really
so funny that until this
much
point we haven't talked about. I'm sorry. I totally didn't hear anything you said. I just totally talked over you. It's so funny that we haven't gotten to this point. We haven't said anything about T-shirts. We haven't said anything about fashion or clothes. It's almost like that in my head is filed under a completely separate part, because the community and the idea of engaging your friends is such a large part of what you guys do.
Well, our brand statement says we're, I hope I'm putting this right, it says, you know, we're a community about creativity, and T-shirts are just one way that we happen to do that. Happens to be a pretty successful way, and one that we're going to continue to do. But we're doing other things as well. We do, fresh beer. we do some extensions of our products, and we do some completely different things that sometimes are on the site, sometimes are on their own sites. But yeah, here's a sneak peek at an iPhone case, iPhone 4 case. Pardon me.
Very
some
pretty.
different cases. So keep an eye on the site. We're going to be selling those on the site this Christmas. But yeah,
I was
so
getting
that's
into
what
before
we're
I
about.
got
That's what's cool.
Before I got disconnected, I was starting to get into longevity and the idea that because you guys have been around for 10 years, you know, in another 10 years, we're going to look back at the age of connectivity and community and look at what Threadless has been able to accomplish as being, you know, at the absolute forefront of understanding how to operate in a digital world. What are some of your guys' experiences at maybe past jobs that differ greatly in that area?
That's a really, really awesome point that you bring up. Because what a lot of people don't know is that I think we're about a team of 10 or so, right?
Yep.
Creative team, yeah.
And aside from Craig, our video guy, Ross, our art director, and Joe, our designer, the rest of the Threadless creative team are all agency refugees. I worked at an agency and smaller design studios like Rule 29 and Segura. Brock worked at Razorfish. Glenn came from ARC. And so we all understand the struggles of working in a real professional design environment with clients and hierarchy and, you know, levels of crap that you have to go through. And so what's really nice about working here at Threadless is that what we work on gets pushed out when we, you know, finish it. So we'll have a week turnaround time, but we'll see it live on the site at the end of the week. So that's a big change for us.
And a lot of the longevity is that we're continuing to evolve. I think that's one thing that's different about being the community and compared to some of those other sites people want to compare us to. But they have one trick, they're doing their thing, but we're not boxed in by a certain kind of design or a certain kind of, you know, witty slogans or any of those kind of things. So as tastes change or as different things happen, different people come on the scene, we're adapting and continuing to grow.
I saw on the website that you guys actually have 2 retail physical locations. And the reason I bring that up with you guys specifically is that, so you guys think of the online e-commerce interaction. You know, what is it like for someone who's looking for a t-shirt, you know, is looking to buy some clothes? You know, this is the question that you guys have to ask yourselves all the time. What is that experience like for the user? Were you guys involved in any way, shape, or form with the physical locations, and can you draw parallels to the shopping experience there to what happens online?
I worked at the Broadway store, the first one, right when it opened. I was working in the warehouse before, and then I moved up to the store. And right when it first opened, we had our first official community meetup, where we had probably over 150 designers and just people who would be on the forum all day, just come into Chicago, and we had a big show at the Metro, and it was pretty cool meeting all these people in person. And you would kind of get the super fans at the store every once in a while, where they would come in and they'd just have to look at every single shirt and, oh, I have 50 Threadless shirts, and it's pretty cool because the way the store setup is, we have a monitor at each different shirt, and it has the design, who designed it, and then it's got a scrolling thing of all the people who comment on it, what they said,
Wow.
And then we have it set up by sizes. So it was pretty
That is
cool,
awesome.
actually getting to meet these people in person who just like truly love Threadless.
And one thing that we haven't talked about is our fearless leader, Sean Donahue. When he first got hired, one of his first big projects was to help design and like kind of figure out the Threadless Kids store on Division in the Wicker Park area of Chicago. So yeah, I mean, it's a huge challenge and one that none of us have ever done before. But I think the biggest thing is we wanted to make sure that the experience on Threadless.com parallels our store, and that you have fun in the store just as much as you have fun on our site.
I have to ask a key question that was posed by my brother. He's in the chat room, Patrick McGovern, who wanted to know, did you guys use a prepackaged shopping, and I have to read this because I'm so much of a non-geek that I don't even know. Did you guys use a prepackaged shopping cart, or did you build your own?
I think everything at Threadless is custom. We have an amazing development team, and they don't get enough credit either. They're the ones that are building the infrastructure for our warehouse so that all the orders are getting flown properly, and then we've got great developers for our site doing all this stuff for the e-commerce. So yeah, we have a really kick-ass development team.
Yeah, and everything is.
And just to give a little bit for people who aren't familiar with any of that. Oh, I'm sorry. Just to give a little background to frame that question for people who aren't familiar with e-commerce at all, and I'm definitely one of those people. There are prepackaged tools you can buy to plug into your site, so people can come to your site and dump items into a cart and then buy them. And the challenges that brings up for designers are, how do you skin that? You're based on the structure of how that one tool works and the sequence of events that happens in that one tool, and the interactions that happen with the financial institutions. And what they were saying just now is that they build things from custom, so they have complete control over that experience. What would you guys say is unique about that shopping experience?
I think we're continuing to evolve that, but we have a lot of control. We're not boxed in by the way a certain flow works. We're working on overhauling the cart again, which is something we couldn't do with a lot of commercial packages. We do have control over, like you're saying, like the financial stuff. They do that. We also have, we just added PayPal 4 months ago or so. And as Mig was talking about, we have sort of an end-to-end solution. So when you come to the website, you order, it goes into our own order management system, goes through the warehouse, gets fulfilled, it's all connected to UPS and all others, and Postal Service and all that stuff, and goes out. It's actually kind of unbelievably amazing, you know, the sophistication all the way through. But that's something that would be hard to do otherwise.
And so, and one last point on the whole fact that our e-commerce is custom. I think that's what we really believe in at Threadless in general, whether it's marketing or design or development. We like to do as much as we can ourselves, as much as possible. I think we have this ongoing theme that we like to stay scrappy. So why don't we use the employees and our friends as models for our shirts? If we need hand-drawn type, we're just going to hand-draw the type. If we need, you know, anything done, we'll try to do it ourselves because we all want to learn and figure this stuff out just as much as any other designer would. So we're going to do it ourselves. And if we really suck at it, then we really suck at it. But we'll learn from there and then have our friends come in and do some work for us.
There are two practical things too. One is that Threadless was formed out of a company called Skinny Corp, which is a technology-based company. So there's that kind of ethos at the foundation. And also a lot of the stuff that we're doing, it might be common now in packages, but we were doing it long before anyone else. So there's also a practical side of like we could switch to some kind of service or package that would do a lot of this stuff, but it would be a huge effort to switch for no real gain.
The next topic I want to bring up is working environment. You guys have been pretty public about what your physical space is like, and of course all creative people and designers are envious of the space that you guys work in. There's been a lot of discussion about that. I just saw a video today. It was one of the last bits that Conan O'Brien did on the Tonight Show before he got kicked off and that whole shenanigans happened. He was, I think he was being sponsored by Intel. So he takes a trip to the offices and he's walking around the offices, the camera's following them. It is the biggest gray cubicle farm you've ever seen. And he made fun of it throughout the whole thing. Gray walls, gray floor, gray ceiling, and then they have these poles that actually have like H19 that mark the section of the office because you can't tell. Everything absolutely looks the same. So if you want to tell somebody to come over to your area, you have to say H19. You can't say the flowers by the window. So Mig, earlier you were able to twist a camera. Can you like twist the camera around and show us your environment and talk a little bit about that?
Sorry.
Well, we just moved in here, so it's still a bit of work in progress, but
so you're looking, yeah, you guys are looking at the creative department. There's still white walls because we just moved in, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it's a shadow.
That's Joe's girlfriend.
Wow, it was 2 weeks. It was that
Say
recent.
hi.
Yeah.
So,
this is where I sit with Craig, and then in the back, where's my finger? Oh, there's my finger. Don't pull it. This is marketing over here.
that's Michael Jordan.
And then back here is like the development area where all our awesome tech guys are doing mad work. But yeah, right now actually we're in the middle of this thing where we want to do and we did it with our last office too. We're going to do this company-wide contest where every department gets a budget and you get to design and kind of restyle your area, and the winning department gets treated out or something. So we are planning on winning, and we're planning on decking out the creative department pretty good.
And another thing, we have our company friend Joe Suda, who's a graffiti artist. He's amazing, and he did a lot of the work that you see if you watch the videos of our old space or see the different documentaries that were done. So he's going to come and do some stuff in the public areas, and then we're also looking for other artists to fill in some of our public areas. So if anybody wants to make a pitch, do it.
Mural.
Yeah, if you make awesome stuff, come on over.
It could be vinyl, it could be whatever.
We're also completely doing some stuff on the outside of the building as well, having replaceable panels of new murals that can change out monthly.
Yeah, we're going to have our own billboard.
Nice.
So there's going to be some ridiculous stuff on it.
Talk a little bit about how working in like the physical environment can change your mood and how it personally affects you guys.
Windows. We have windows now.
Not in a cave anymore.
Yeah, before we were in a dark warehousey area, and now we have windows to our left, and that, just looking at the outside and other people, has dramatically improved our...
Yeah, the sun comes right in the morning.
But
in our old space, the technology folks were in a kind of satellite office, and then the rest of the office side of Threadless was broken up to kind of different rooms. So it's been really nice to be basically in the same room now. So like we can have a lot more interaction with the tech guys without having to, you know, leave our space, go out in the hall, go all the way upstairs, go back into their space, and I think that really helps.
But I mean, to your question, working in a creative environment is completely conducive to doing creative work. We all get to walk around and ask each other, what do you think of this? Oh, that looks stupid, change it. Oh, okay, thanks. Like, there's no, like, because we kind of work in this mosh pit environment, it's fun, and we get to be really loose about it.
Yeah, and one thing that's really great about Threadless, and it applies across the board, but in space, is like, if you want to do something, you can do it. So if you wanted to come in on the weekend and paint a mural, like, it would be totally started. Or someone started drawing on the tiles in the men's room, little faces, and now they're like a burgeoning collection of faces and other notes that are going on there. And so that's the kind of thing that wouldn't happen at an agency, a lot of agencies, you know.
I feel like I'm completely monopolizing this conversation. I think it's time to open it up to the audience. There's already a ton of questions popping up here from the audience. I'm going to start taking those questions now. Guys, hop on and confirm the videos if you can. There's 2 sitting there.
Quick shout out to the girls of Quite
also,
Strong and Allison Yard Medland and everyone else in the chat room. You guys are freaking awesome for being in here with us tonight.
Those Quite Strong girls are quite a presence on DesignChat lately, and I'm very happy to have them here, and the more that they come to, the better, because they're totally rad, and everybody should know about them. So we're going to take some questions. How do you normally go about choosing your color schemes?
How do you figure out how you're going to dress in the morning?
It's right on a Threadless shirt.
Right here.
I guess can you clarify your question? Do you mean for our site and when we make designs for the site, or are you saying the t-shirts we wear or the t-shirts we produce and print? What do you mean?
Is Tommy still in the chat room? Can we see?
Tommy,
Whatever
Llama.
looks good, Tommy.
You gotta feel it.
Well, that's definitely a baseline.
We'll talk a little bit about how
Piece.
internal projects get started, who gets them going, and you know, how does it get decided what teams work on them and timeframes and that sort of thing?
Well, the Threadless creative team is just one big happy family. So Sean, our creative director, will figure out what's on the plate and what we need to get done. But after that, it's just, hey, who has some free time because we need to get this done. So everyone, either if you don't touch it in the beginning, you're still going to touch it. You hear a lot about collaboration in the workplace, but at the end of the day, it's kind of BS. At Threadless, everybody touches the Photoshop files, everybody's illustrating. So Brock is planning how it's all going to be like organized, and Speedy and Ross will be illustrating the whole time, while Glenn and I are kind of putting Brock's dreams into fruition. So everybody is touching everything, and all while that's happening, Colleen is writing it all. So it doesn't really matter who, like, what.
Sean Crittenden is assembling it.
And then, yeah, Sean Crittenden is putting it all together for us.
I think another part of it is that we have a lot of different kinds of projects, because we have emails that go out twice a week for the newsletter. We have other emails that go out on a regular basis. Then we have sales and promotions and other things that go on the site, so which are on a little bit different cycle. Then we have the regular site enhancements and other stuff that we're working, like that. Sorry, I'm getting feedback if I lose my train of thought, but we have all those things. So there's a lot of different things going on at once.
I don't know if there's much that isn't collaborated. At some point, it'll get touched by at least one other person. Just, I don't know. We work better that way.
And to the point of collaboration, it's not just everybody in the creative department that's working on it. We have our friends in the warehouse getting involved. We have the marketing department kind of putting their faces and their ideas into it. So it's like Sean said in the chat, it definitely is a riot.
We love our community.
Jeff Guerrero wants, do you think Threadless has an image? And if so, what is it?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Is this
actually,
a Threadless employee?
I think one of...
No, he's one of our users, one of our bloggers.
I mean, on a more serious note, I think last year we were thinking of our community, or not our community, but our like company motto and what we all believe in internally. And I think one of the lines we came up with is, does it inspire awesomeness? Everything you do, from writing a headline to making an email to printing a new shirt, is it something that our friends would be into? So I mean, that's our image. We want to be something that all of our friends are into and that it's cool stuff. And if it's not, then don't do it. So that's our image.
What it seems like,
Oh yeah.
what it's a little bit is the idea, you know, the antithesis of complacency, right? Where complacency will destroy you and make you bland, and just going along, you know, with the flow and just agreeing with everybody all the time is going to produce results that, you know, nobody's going to be interested in. So it sounds like what you're saying is your goals are to be, you know, to zag, right? When everybody is zigging, that you're going to zag, and will that get attention? But not only on top of that, will it be good attention, and will people really dig it?
Yeah.
But we're not doing stuff just to be different. We're doing stuff to be us. I think that's one of the great things, is that we're not pretending to be anything that we're not. We're a diverse group. We're about creativity, and that's what reflects, you know, in the site.
And maybe to the point of our image, if you look at our visual brand, you'll notice that every sale we have, it changes. And so our visual identity is pretty malleable in that we'll redesign it completely for a Halloween sale and then redesign it again for a back to old school sale, redesign it completely again for a beach sale. So we just want to do what's fun. And I think our messaging and the way we handle the way we talk to our friends is the constant.
We don't really have like a book style guide. We just kind of all know what Threadless is because we are Threadless. Like we just know if something's not, like if it feels off, then it's not Threadless. It's not right, you know.
Most
Follow
companies,
your heart.
Most companies have brand guidelines. Threadless has no brand guidelines. The logo changes at every sale. If you notice at the top left of the website, the logo changes all the time.
Although we use Archer for everything, so.
A little bit of consistency never hurt. That's cool. Speaking of consistency, well, let's bring on Quite Strong for a video question. They have been, like I said, a good presence in our design chats as of late, having been a guest, and also Elaine coming on and making some good questions. I believe she's trying to get there. She's got her video going. Hi.
I see Jana and Victoria.
Hi.
What's up,
How's it
ladies?
going, guys?
Guys, go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, ask our question. Okay. Well, it was kind of asked already by Jeff and partially answered by you guys, but I feel like Threadless has a very specific sense of humor and aesthetic. Is that on purpose? Is that curated, or is that just kind of coincidence in what the community gives you?
We're very serious here. What are you
We're
talking
nothing
about?
but serious business here. Well, I mean, a lot of people make comments like, hey, you guys say the word awesome all the time. And it's because that's how Jake and Jeffrey and Jacob talked back when the company started. It was circa 20-year-old dudes just running a company and trying to figure it out. And that's how they talk naturally. So we didn't want to let go of that because that was what, you know, started, and that's what was natural to them, and that's what we want to carry forward. So we do that on purpose, to talk like humans and speak to people naturally. And that's one of our core beliefs at Threadless: be human, because you are human. So talk to people like people, not like customers, not like users.
No marketing speak.
No marketing speak.
Aw, dang.
Girls, I noticed you're drinking some beers there. I think you got to tell us what you're drinking.
Anchor Steam, it was brought here by Elaine and her friend Joe maybe a week ago. We're just trying to finish it off, you know, before it goes bad.
And I also want to comment that you guys have a great opportunity for green screen. So next time you come on, I want to see some, you know, moving waves behind you or something trippy. Really great opportunity for that. So you got to take advantage of it.
We'll consider that for sure.
Otherwise, no, Ryan, you're an idiot. We're never going to do anything you say. Thanks, girls. I'm going to drop your call. Thanks for coming on and making a question. We love Quite Strong. Everybody follow them on Twitter. They're at Quite_Strong.
Yes, Quite_Strong.
Awesome. Noggin, guys. I remembered that. I'm amazing. Good night, guys. Let's bring on back Threadless and ask another text question. From Gabe Caslett, wants to know, can you guys talk about your education and how it helps / doesn't help you day to day?
Gotta get your education.
Well, an important thing to note is that Jake, one of the founders of Threadless, dropped out of college. So there's that. Joe's still going to school.
I was hired full time when I was 21, so I'm trying to finish up night classes, and I have my opinions of school, and it's not the strongest because I kind of feel like most of what I've learned has actually been through Threadless because I've been kind of hustling on my own, trying to force myself to get better, and then I look around at all my peers at school and I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Where have you been? Like, this is the rest of your lives. But I have made some good friends, and I have learned quite a bit, so I can't knock it too hard.
And I think at the end of the day, you can always say, oh, my school sucked, or oh, I didn't get the best education. Where I felt like in school, I was learning more about design software and just design, like, production, where I'm only now starting to learn about design through working. So I think everyone's just making it up as they go along. None of us really know what we're doing. It's just, especially when we're working at Threadless, if there's something we don't know how to do, we'll just spend time doing it. So finish school and get out of there, and then start doing all the real learning once you get to the
Don't want to take
projects.
my route. It's long, it's a lot of work, and it kind of sucks.
Nice. Next question coming from the omnipresent Gary Holmes, who wants to know, explain the idea behind the Threadless book.
Oh, hey Brock, can you grab the book?
Oh yeah, this guy here.
Oh, never mind.
So, this is the, oh Jesus, my bad.
Not so technical difficulties.
Okay, we got the special edition of our book right here. And you can kind of see it's got like a velvety of all. Right here, the cover.
It's the cover art, but like in
Yeah, it's like
velvet.
soft.
It's really hard to
Amazing.
open too.
And actually about the cover too, we just made a post on our forum, and we're just like, hey, we need a cover for our book. Design a character, send it in, we'll put it together, and you could be on the cover. So everything you see here is actually done by our designers. And then open it up here.
Very cool.
And get this going. There's get that out. That's old.
Emo Joe.
So in here you can see here we have a sketchbook which Jake, our founder, is going to personally sign every one of these special editions. And then the actual book is a hardcover version. Get this out of there. So you kind of see it's got like a mix. Oh, what's this page? That's a good page right there. Huh? Yeah. So go back to the headphones.
Another good one. Mr. Mittens.
Yeah.
I love show and tell on DesignChat. That's my favorite part of this.
So the craziest thing I think about the book is last weekend I was at Urban Outfitters, and while my girlfriend's checking out, I'm looking at the books, and there it is, just sitting on the bookshelf is the Threadless book. And I, just flipping through it, and it's like, hey, there's every single one of my friends, and there's all our designs. It was just kind of surreal to see it in person.
I was at the Museum of
Yes.
Contemporary Art a couple weeks back doing the CUSP conference put on by Symbolic here, where we're broadcasting from, and I was in the store at the Museum of Contemporary Art. There's the Threadless book, and I hadn't seen Meg in a while, so I flipped through it, took a photo, put it out there on Twitter. It said I was happy to bump into him at the Museum of Contemporary Art. And so it's not the same exact experience you had there, but it's one of those things to just, like, I've talked to Meg a couple times, we travel in the same circles, and it's like, it's just amazing. It just reinforces the idea that community-based design organizations can have that reach now, right? It starts breaking down the limitations of what you previously had in your head of what a possibility was. And that's really exciting to see.
Yeah, also real quick, a shout out to Nikki Carlson. She's our latest addition to the Threadless creative team. She's enjoying a burrito as we speak, but we wanted to give her a shout out because she does amazing photo compositing work.
God.
So many of the sales that we've done have been because of her really rad photo compositing. So she knows her stuff, and we're so happy to have
She's a
her
wizard.
working with us.
I don't understand
Nice.
how it works.
But she's not on Twitter, so you can't follow her. So we're just gonna give her a shout out here instead.
When she does have Twitter, you'll have to hashtag DesignChat so the whole audience knows.
We'll do it.
Taking the next question here, moving right along. And guys, remember, you guys are asking a question of the audience tonight, so get that ready. We're going to do that in a couple minutes. The last text question I have in here right now is from Allison Shiman, who wants to know, what do you guys do with the misprinted t-shirts? Columbia's AIGA group was just wondering, wink, wink.
We clean messes, we turn them into Etsy projects, we throw them in boxes, we give them away.
Give them
I
attempts.
think most of them right now that we have left we're just hanging on to for kind of like big donations. We just kind of save them up at once. Nothing
But
too
we have done some
specifically.
different craft things with
Yeah.
them. Like Girls Rock, it's here in Chicago. If anyone needs some t-shirt fabric, we could hook you up, by the way.
We also have a big box of bootleg threadless shirts that people can just grab if they want.
Yeah.
But we confiscated those.
How do you come across bootlegged threadless shirts?
How did we?
I think our
people kinda-
merchandise planner was somewhere and saw them, I think, right?
Yeah.
In a store.
And other
Yeah.
times our friends will just send us like pictures from their cell phones. Hey, I'm in China right now. A, why are they in
That's-
China? But B, they're taking pictures of threadless shirts and saying, look, you guys got ripped off. So many of our like friends and the community members will do spottings of threadless ripoffs and post it in the blogs.
Or we'll see them appropriated by other artists in the New York Times.
Yes.
Like a design or an idea ripped off from a threadless shirt used for an illustration in
Yeah.
that publication.
Allegedly.
Well, it was done by an artist. What's the name of that shirt? It's
When pandas
When
attack,
Pandas Attack.
the alleged artist's name is Rob Pruitt, Pruitt.
I'm going to link a
Yeah,
video of
yeah,
what we're talking about.
You should take a look because I think it's good for, when we were talking
Uh-oh.
about spec work and some of those things, take a look and see what you think about
We'll
his
let you
use of
form,
the
yeah,
design.
form
Right.
your own opinions about
I
it.
smell controversy here. I smell controversy.
Oh, and see,
So
and
that
this is
just
how
went
we
in the chat
responded.
room?
So this was in New York, yeah, and this whole installation was in a New York art gallery, and everyone was like, "Hey, that's totally a threadless design put in a pattern." So what we did was we took that very same design and had all the shirts ready for it. On Twitter, we said, "Hey, New York, we have this secret mission for you. Meet us at this corner. We're going to give you a free T-shirt. Come meet us at 5 o'clock." So everyone went to this gallery and we gave them that T-shirt, and there was like 30, 40 kids wearing this T-shirt of the design on the wall that this artist claimed. And it was kind of like the Improv Anywhere that I don't know if you guys have seen Improv Anywhere, but we did this like
totally,
ambush
yeah.
where they all wore the T-shirt design that was on the wall, and the artist actually happened to be there and he was dumbfounded. But you know, it's not like we're hating. It was just kind of like, hey,
Putting it out
we want
there.
to make sure you know this is a threadless design and a threadless artist did this, not you. And then we hugged it out.
Well, at least it was sort of resolved
Maybe
then.
sometimes.
Yes.
We don't go to bed angry.
All right, so we've got one more video question, and then we're going to take your guys' questions. So we're going to try to broadcast the call here. I don't have a name here. It just says X70X.
What's up,
Hello,
dude?
X70X. What is your real life
That's
name?
me. Tyler Owen.
Tyler,
Tyler,
welcome
go ahead
to
and ask your
Design
question.
You
Chat.
guys, I'm a huge fan of Threadless. Hey, I probably have way too many Threadless shirts to even list, but I just wanted to ask you guys, I know since kind of, thanks. I wanted to ask you guys if since social networking has kind of come about how has that really affected your business, and has that kind of added to sales? Or to me, you guys have done one of the best jobs of most companies out there of kind of harnessing social networking. So kind of wanted your thoughts on that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, obviously we're all about social networking, but if you look at the beginning of Threadless, obviously social networking wasn't there. We kind of just roll with the punches, and we like to be where people are. So first it was forums, then it was, you know...
You could put your Flickr on your profile page and your Last FM. And at one point MySpace was on there, but that got taken off.
But then Facebook and Twitter started to, you know, go on the rise, and so we naturally were like, hey, let's have some fun and talk on there. We don't really, we try not to have Twitter and Facebook be our definitive source of marketing, but we just want to be where people are, and that's why we did this nationwide tour where we literally and physically drove to other cities to get FaceTime and talk with people. So we're all about the Twitters and the Facebooks. And I think one interesting thing that we did recently, we put the like button in the footer of our site, and it just, there are so many fans getting added every day, like hundreds and hundreds every day.
Like 600 a day or more.
So I think we're just trying to cater to where people are, and we'd rather be where you are instead of you trying to force you to come to us. It's always easier to just take part in conversation wherever conversation's happening.
I think there's also some interesting stuff around social network, just kind of how Threadless works, because we have a couple people who manage the Twitter and Facebook, Bob and Kristen, and they came from other parts of the organization and basically kind of created those positions as, you know, those services came about. And so I think they've been on the forefront of inventing how businesses should use that. Threadless tends to be different, I think, than a lot of companies because we're very interactive. You know, both in our actual Threadless Twitter, and then, you know, all of us will follow people who are talking about Twitter and converse with people directly, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think to Bob and Kristen's credit, Bob was a musician who traveled the world, right? So he understands how to talk to people and handle crowds. Kristen is a stand-up comedian and an improv comedian, so she knows how to be funny, and she knows, again, how to work with people. So we didn't ask for social media experts. We asked for people to handle crowds and be able to communicate. And I think a question that I saw in the chat room so many times was, how do I get a job there, or how do I work there, or what kind of people do you hire? We just hire people who are passionate about something, anything. You don't have to be the expert at Twitter, but you have to be able to, you know, be cool with people and have fun with people. So I think that's what you'll see trending with all of us. We're all unbelievably passionate about something. Well, with us, it's obviously design, but ask everyone else in the company of Threadless. We have craft makers, we have musicians, so passionate people is what we go for.
Tyler, thank you so much for your call and doing video. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Thank you.
Of course, I cut him off in the middle of saying something. Awesome timing, Ryan. Right. So now comes the interactivity part, guys. Now comes the time where Threadless asks a question of the audience. I'm very excited for this. It's the first time we've done it. I want to turn the tables on you guys.
We're gonna huddle up real quick.
Okay. We're not listening. I just looked down at the chat room. These hands are electric. Says no, I'm not wearing pants. What the hell are you guys talking about?
Which one of us do you guys like the best? That's the.
Nice.
Bruce,
not
excellent.
Bruce the dog.
All right, so our question for you guys is this: how would you define community? We're all about community, but what does community mean to you guys?
And we will watch the chat room blow up. If you have a really good answer, submit it as a text question and we'll bring it up. I think that's a good way to do it, to bring it up. If you want to think out your answer and submit it as a text question. So actually, next time we do this, maybe we'll do it halfway through so we can take some of those answers throughout. So if you're seeing some good answers in the chat room, guys, call them out.
I really like Paul's answer of community equals love. I think we could all get behind that here at Threadless. We love our friends.
We can get behind a TV show too.
I'm down.
And we
down.
we are huge
Yeah,
fans
it's our
of the
friend.
NBC show Community.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm gonna pull up another link, but Abed from Community came by to hang out with
Yeah,
us.
Danny Pooty.
Danny Pooty. Shout out to Danny Pooty.
He is the nicest person you'll ever meet.
And it's going in the design chat room.
Oh,
right
that
now.
dude is even funnier in person. Oh.
To me, James Gray says, to me, community just means being involved with what's going on out there, other than just yourself.
I think that's really good because I think being bigger than yourself is the giving back part we were talking about earlier is a big part of that, and knowing what's going on, discussing things. Something we do here at Threadless, like you could see that we don't sit in cubicles. We have a good amount of room, but we sit next to each other and we talk about things. So sometimes we talk about you know, the Google presentation that was going around. Sometimes we're talking about the comp that's going to be the site next week. So that's really
a
cool.
lot of YouTube videos go
A lot
around.
of YouTube.
Ooh, that's
Keaton
a
Taylor
good
says,
one.
community is interaction outside the bubble.
Jinx.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Damn it, the delay.
Damn it. The delay got us. Allison Shimon says, not just having common interests, but a common passion. That's why the design community is so strong. Agreed.
Yeah, those different.
That's
interests
interesting.
around
Andrew
that passion
Tibbetts
is
from
cool.
Design Chat Links says, community is dealing with people you might not agree with.
Interesting.
I think that kind of comes with it, though. We argue kind of, but
Helvetica.
in a good way. Like, we're all trying to go for the greater common good. And it never gets out of hand, I don't think. We don't really get in. There's been no fist fights, so I think we're doing pretty good.
No, but
Yeah, we
I
have a
think
lot of respect for our design team and our community, so we can have those big discussions back and forth and be irritated about something, but it doesn't affect the underlying respect.
But the community will totally speak out if they don't agree with something, and they'll put it publicly in the blogs, and the community at large will, disagree with them. But then the staff members, especially Jake, will always reply back and say, "Oh, I hear your problem. Like, let me see what we could do." And I think recently, one of the biggest disagreeing things that's happened, especially that pertains to all of us designers, we recently switched the main typeface on our website to Helvetica from Georgia. And there are over 500 comments with people hating it and loving it. And then what's funny is that at
Really?
the end, everyone's like, all right, fine, I'm used to it.
It was there was no good reason for them to want Georgia, though. They just, it's just changes. Some people hate it, some people love it, and after a day, you don't even notice it anymore. People start to forget about it.
Georgia,
What
I
percentage
doubt,
of the
is so
questions
hot right
that
now.
you guys get from your friends and relatives have to do with asking for free t-shirts, and what's the best way to skirt that answer?
For me, it's more, I got this idea for
Yeah.
a t-shirt. Constantly, and they're rarely good. Let's just say that.
Is that a good thing or a bad
Everyone's
thing
got
that
the
you
next
barrage with
big
those
idea.
questions?
I think it's good. People are interested and they want to kind of take part in some way.
Taking part is...
The URL is
Go ahead.
threadless.com. You are welcome to buy whatever you'd like.
Here's a
Yeah,
coupon.
support
Nice.
us.
And we do support you. The design community definitely supports you guys. The good part is the interactive part, and that you guys are engaging with the community. Definitely, bravo to you guys for being involved in something like that and having the smarts to do so. And congratulations on all of your guys' successes. Your new move into your new place, I can't wait to see what you guys do with it. Please share that with us as it goes out. I know, I have to ask you guys to do that. I know it's going to happen. Guys, bravo for coming on tonight. Golf clap.
Thanks for having us.
There's not enough I could say about you guys and what you guys are doing over there. So thank you so much for spending the time with us. Audience members, we've got another chat next week, of course, for you guys. We're bringing on Bob Zini, he's been an upstanding member of the design community in Chicago for a long time. He is currently on the board of the Society of Typographic Arts, which we have talked about before. They have their Archive 10 Gala event happening on Thursday of next week, so Wednesday night. Bob is going to come on and talk to us about it. Mig, you know Bob. I'm sure you're going to be there. Bob is good people for sure.
And I know you had Jessica Hish on your show a couple weeks ago. I just want to tell everyone to tune in on Friday. Her and I are going to go head to head and battle it out.
Vote for Mig. Mig.
That's right. I'm sorry. I
That'll
totally
be fun.
forgot. I was going to bring that up. Layer tennis, guys. Google layer tennis and definitely pay attention on Friday. It's so exciting. If you haven't seen it before, they will go back to back and like within minutes, throughout the day, they're going to sort of spar, if you will, visually. It's very exciting to watch and definitely two worthy opponents. Mig, she's going to kill you.
The office is going to shut down.
I think she's going to.
Everyone's just going to crowd around Mig's computer and just breathe over his neck. Oh, the pressure.
I think I got it figured out though. I think she's gonna throw swashes and cats at me, so I'm ready for it.
Your swash and cat defense will be fully prepared when Friday cometh. Cool. All right, guys. Good night. We will talk to you guys next week. Thanks again for coming on.
Thank you everyone for coming.
All the guys. We'll talk to you soon.